What's going on, guys? Agronix here, and welcome to a brand new video, a kickoff of a brand new series. Today we jump into the Little Cup Season 2, coached and organized by me. So basically what happened was, Joey said that Season 4 of the Elysianucl, but if you're wondering, won't start until after Sun and Moon, because, we want the new Megas, or if there are any, and the Lola forms and stuff like that. So we said we'd wait until Sun and Moon was out. But I felt that having nothing to do for, a month and a half, it would just be a dead league. The league would be dead for a month and a half, and I didn't want that. So I asked Joey, would it be okay if I grabbed a few people and started a Little Cup League, and then 8 people actually wanted to do it, including Joey, and now we have really cool teams, a nice schedule, playoff race, conferences, and all the stuff. So we can see right here, what we did was we picked the tiers that made up on the Elysian blog. We just took that and we picked 3 from tier 1, 3 from tier 2, and 2 from tier 3. The tiers that we made, we actually made them ourselves, so we are a little bit biased in what we think is good and what isn't. But the mons that we got are really good, and the teams overall, all the teams are great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my team and specifically, then go over a few teams I think are really good, what are the highlights, and then go through the conference and the schedule for us, the team. So we picked up Mienfu, Snubble, Hippopotas, Corfish, Aaron, Stunky, Pansage, and Elekid. So let me run through what was going through my mind when this was going down. And let me also, this should undo now. Perfect. So what was happening in my mind is that I was round 3. I was round 3 of picking. Sorry, I was pick 3. So before me were Steven and Cubchew. However, Steven was late to the draft. He was late to the draft. He missed the tier 1 picks completely. So he picked up his tier 3s after the draft was over, which means he was able to pick up 3 mons that support each other really well. But this made a few things possible. This meant that I was guaranteed to get a few mons that I wanted as long as I picked them, and basically meant that I could get whatever I wanted. So Cubchew was the only person up before me, and he picked up Fletchling. Now, on the one hand, I'm upset because I wanted to use Fletchling again. Fletchling was so important last season for me winning the first season Little Cup. If you don't know, I did win the first one, which I'm pretty proud of, to be honest. I really like saying that I did it. I did with no previous experience in Little Cup, and I wanted to use Fletchling again. But on the other hand, I'm glad he did pick it, just because it wouldn't make some doubt in my mind, because there were so many mons that I wanted. First of all, I wanted to use Snubble because I really like Snubble, but I knew that I didn't have to pick it round 1, especially not pick 2 out of the draft. I was truly sure that I wouldn't need to. So I picked up Mienfu. Mienfu is so amazing in the draft league format. It is so good. If you look at its stats, it's got 45 in HP, 85 attack, which is great, 50 in defense and special defense, and then 65 in speed, and even a 55 base special attack stat, so it's usable if I want to. And I believe his it does jump up to 15 when you add in the IVs, so that's really good. I really like Mienfu. I think it's a great mon. I think it's a great start to the team. I think building a team around Mienfu is so easy, because all you have to do is pick up a good steel type, which I did to cover its psychic and flying weakness, and then build a few cores around it. So going in a round 2, I knew what I wanted, and it was still there, so I picked up Snubble. I picked up Snubble because it's a fairy type, which are very good in the format. It's just good. Thunder Wave, Heal Bell, Fire Punch, Play Rough, Earthquake. Really good stats. Intimidate is a great ability, being able to wall a lot of things and making my Eviolite even better, because Intimidate plus physically defensive Eviolite, they're not touching you at all. And it's just really good. Joey described it perfectly when he said it was bulky offense, which I think is truly what it is. Eviolite, Intimidate, which is Play Rough, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch, I think it gets. It's just really good, and I'm really looking forward to using it. So far in the draft, I had 2 mons that worked pretty well together, but I needed a Stealth Rocker because I knew I wanted Aaron. So I picked up Hippopotas. Another reason was because Joey had Drillbur, and I knew if I let Hippopotas go to Joey, he'd pick up Hippopotas and then have a Sand Rush Drillbur, which wouldn't have been fun to play at all. So I wanted to pick up Hippopotas. It's a really strong mon. Really physically defensive, can take hits and also dish out a lot of damage, has a decent attack stat of, we will check, I believe it's like 65. 72, dude. Jesus Christ. With 13 base, which is nice. So I'm not passive at all, which I really, really like. And it's just a great stealth rocker. It's a reliable recovery, which is nice. I don't have to run sand, of course. Like I can just run stand force and don't have to bring the sand at all. But if I want to bring the sand, I can. So it's a nice option. And he also gets like crunch, fire fang, ice fang, stuff like that. But I really, really wanted for a stealth rocker, and just a ground type in general is so important in the drafting format. Your opponent not being able to just fold switch over and over again is really, really good. And it's even better in Little Cup because you know in the higher tiers you have like Rotom Mow and Rotom Wash, you know, 2 mons that, you know, Volt Switch, so you want to have the ground type to stop that, but they can just go for Leaf Storm or Hydro Pump and just one-shot your ground type. In Little Cup, there aren't really any mons like that except for Chinchou. Now, Chinchou is the only exception to this rule, I believe. And maybe, you know, Magnemite can hit you with Flash Cannon. I mean, that's really all there's going to be, but Hippopotas is great, I really liked it. Going in round 4, if you don't know as well, we went from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3, so you couldn't just I couldn't pick Aaron round 1. That wouldn't happen. I have to pick all my tier 1s, then all my tier 2s, then all my tier 3s. So going into round 2, I knew that Aaron would go a whole round, and if it didn't, I wasn't too worried about it, because I already used it one season. You know, there were other steel types I wanted as well if Aaron did unfortunately go, but as you could tell, it didn't. So I picked up Corphish. Now, Corphish is a mon. Obviously, Crawdaunt is scary as hell in the drafting format and even on the ladder as well. Just adaptability Aqua Jet is so scary, and Corphish I think will do a great job this season. Just priority in general is so important, and you'll notice we have a few priority, but Corphish is the main one. Adaptability Aqua Jet with Sword Stance is really, really insane. Not only that, I can run Dragon Dance, Crab Hammer, and do a lot. I believe, I'm 100% sure, it does get Crab Hammer, which is great. And it also gets Dragon Dance, it also gets Crunch, Knockoff. It's not a Dark type, but it still gets a lot of Dark type moves, so it's not that big a deal. And it also, it just water priority in Aqua Jet I think is really, really good, because you have mons, like I said, Drillbur. That's really, really scary. And a Choice Scarf Drillbur, a ground type in general, kind of destroys my team, because I have no resistance to ground except for Pansage, and no immunity, so we'll have to play around with that. But I really like Corphish, and it really, really serves as a great offensive pairing with Aaron, our next mon. Now, I realized that in the drafting format, there are 2 types that you can really spam, and those types are Flying, which we don't have, but we can take on very, very easily, and Rock. I feel like Rock is a type that usually you can just spam, because on most teams you have a Steel type, a Ground type, and maybe a Fighting type. And they're unlikely to bring all of them unless they do, but even then, that's only half of their team that take it not very effective, and even then it's going to do a lot unless they're Eviolite. For example, Aaron did 54% to a Baltoy last season against Tepe. That was insane. I wasn't even expecting that to kill. I was just doing damage to where I could bring in another mon and just kill it, but in the end, Aaron just swept through his entire team. And that's what I love about Aaron. Aaron is really, really strong with Head Smash, just a 150 base power move in Little Cup, where, you know, obviously Eviolite is all over the place in Berry Juice, so, you know, natural recovery, or bulky mons, I should say, are in Little Cup all over the place. But offensively, Aaron is really, really good in Little Cup, and I'm really looking forward to using it. And it's another stealth rocker, so I don't have to bring offensive Aaron every week, and I'll try to, you know, mix things up. Last season, I only ever used Choice Scarf Aaron with Head Smash. I literally, every single week, I brought the same set. However, the argument to that is it worked. You know, every week Aaron did something, or, you know, died, you know, serving a cause. Like in the final, I let Aaron die to a Charmander, but I found out it was Choice Scarf. I knew for a fact it was Choice Scarf, and that allowed me to play around it later. So I love Aaron so much. And going into round 6, didn't have any form of hazard removal, and I really, really wanted some. I was thinking about picking up Squirtle, but in tier 3, but I didn't want the a second water type, especially a second pure water type. I didn't feel like I wanted that, so I picked up Stunky. It adds to our ground weakness, which we don't have any resistance to yet, but I felt like it was okay. And even then, we have Snubble and Hippopotas, which can kind of take the hits fine, and Corphish comes in if something dies in Aqua Jet, so maybe I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill, but I really like Stunky. Again, it adds to our priority. It has a Sucker Punch, really nice. It also has Taunt. I believe I'm almost 100% sure it gets Toxic Spikes. There's Acid Spray, Defog, Explosion. It has Fire Blast, which is funny because what's it called? Skunk Tank can't really use Fire Blast really effectively. Stunky can. Stunky really can. It gets Play Rough, Pursuit. It doesn't get Toxic Spikes. I am mistaken, but I still really like Stunky. And what's his attack? 13? Oops. 12. Well, we can make that work. We can make that work. We can make that work. And moving into tier 3, I knew I wanted a grass type. So I wanted to pick up one that was very, very offensive, but very unpredictable. So far, Corefish is physically offensive. Iron is physically offensive. My whole team is physically offensive except for my last 2 mons. And even then, Pansage can be both, because Pansage has 53 attack and 53 special attack. So I can run Nasty Plot, Giga Drain, which it does get. It gets Nasty Plot, which is really awesome. But I believe it also gets Swords Dance, I think. No, it doesn't get Swords Dance, but it gets Work Up. Home Claws, that's the one. It gets Home Claws and Work Up. So it can run physically and specially offensive, which is really nice. It gets Knock Off, Leaf Storm, Giga Drain, Gunk Shot, Acrobatics, Earthquake, actually, I think. So really, really insane moveset. I really, really like this thing. It doesn't get Earthquake. Why do I keep saying it gets moves it doesn't, man? Oh, it gets Dig. That's what I was thinking of. So moving into the last round, I needed a electric type. I feel like just Volt Turn is really, really good in the drafting format. Obviously, fast electric types are always a pain in the ass. And I wanted to pick up Elekid for a few reasons. One, it's such an amazing value pick for tier 3. I have no idea why Elekid is in tier 3. It shouldn't be. It should be in tier 2 at least, if not tier 1. Because this thing is insane, alright? Second of all, it really helps my speed tiers. If you notice, I think the fastest thing on my team is either Mienfu, 65. Stunky is 74. Yeah, I think Stunky is my fastest mon at 74. Which I think is 15. I'm not gonna guess. But Elekid actually hits 19 with a base 95 speed, which is absolutely insane, as you can see here. Actually, it can hit 20. What am I saying? My God, dude, Elekid is so freaking fast. It is insane. And I really thought he would help out the team a lot. And again, like Pansage, he can be run specially and physically offensive. He gets Cross Chop, Wild Charge, and Earthquake, but he also gets Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, and what else, dude? You get Focus Blast, no, you don't get Focus Blast. Shit! Fuck my asshole, dude. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Well, so that's the team. I like it a lot. There's a few things that I could change, but I'm not going to change this team at all. This league is just for fun. This little cup tourney is just to pass time, to be honest. And I want to just enjoy myself with this. So, we're going to go on to the schedule. Are you guys ready to see the conferences? The conferences that I've made, I did randomly. I took a random number generator, and this is what I got. So, for Team Magma, I'll actually... Did I... I just closed Google Chrome, dude. Okay, so what I was trying to do was zoom in, but I clicked the X by accident. In Team Magma, we have Cubchew, Steven, Joey, and Zen. And in Team Aqua, we have me, Kraft, Yodeler, and Gomez. I think they're really, really fair conferences. You have people like Joey, who has a lot of experience in Little Cup, and Yodeler has a lot of experience. And then you have people who I think are semi-decent, like me. And well, I would say, actually, I think Cubchew has a lot of... experience, so does Zen, and then you have people who are slightly new to it, like Steven, and I would say Kraft, but Kraft did play last season, so the only person that's very, very new to Little Cup is Steven, but like, I was very, very new to Little Cup last season, and I won the whole thing, so that really isn't like a testament to, Little Cup is just such an insane tier, like anyone can really win, it's like that, so the playoff race is obviously blank for now, because no one has done a battle yet. And the schedule is very, very simple. The first week, the cross conference. The reason I made the first week the cross conference is because I felt like the first week is always the most anxious one, the one that gets people really, really nervous because it's the first time they're using their team, and maybe they want to use something fun but not quite sure what to do. the cross conference is, in my opinion, one of the battles. If you can lose one battle and win all the others, I would say lose your cross conference one, because it just makes it so that you don't, you know, for example, if in the cross conference, if someone beats you, say Cubchew beats me, Cubchew gets a point for his conference, but you know, no one else in my conference get one, so it's fine. It doesn't matter if he beats me. But for example, if Kraft, Kraft is in my thing. Yeah, Kraft. If Kraft beats me, he'd get a point, which means he'd be up immediately. So week 1, it's me versus Cubchew, Kraft versus Steven, Joey versus Yodeler, and Zen versus Gomez. In week 2, you have Cubchew versus Kraft, Joey versus Zen, me versus Steven, and Yodeler versus Gomez. And actually, I think that's wrong. I need to change that. Whoops, I think I made a mistake. In week 3, we have Cubchew versus Joey, Kraft versus Zen, Agron versus Yodeler, and Steven versus Gomez. And week 4, we have Cubchew versus Zen, Kraft versus Joey, Agron versus Gomez, and Steven versus Yodeler. I'm almost 100% sure. No, it's Kraft and Steven. Yeah. Okay, so if I go back to the conferences, it's Kraft. See, I thought Steven was in my conference. Dude, I made the thing. Shouldn't I not be fucking up? Yeah, I think we fixed it there. And just because we'll, you know, change these around. Some live editing here, folks. And then you have Kraft. So I'm really looking forward to this, guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of good battles, and it'll be interesting to see how people like Joey play against Zen, because that's a battle coming up in week 2. I'm really excited to see that. And I'm also interested to see how Steven does, who hasn't really played Little Cup at all, and is very, very new to it. So that's the team. Those are the teams. And actually, just looking over some of the teams that I really, really like, I think Steven's really, really nice. He picked up, again, with no experience of Little Cup, he picked up Daramaka, Coughing, Frillish, and Flababy and Gibble all on his own. I didn't help him with the tier 1s because, like I said, he was not here for the tier 1s. I think his team turned out pretty well. Little bit... see, it's hard to say what's wrong with the team just at looking at names, but I don't know, I feel like his team is a little bit fire weak maybe, because he has resistances in Darumaka, Frillish, and Gibble. So if there was like, is there a fire electric type in LC? I don't think there is. But yeah, I feel like his team is pretty good all around, and I think he'll do very, very well. Yodeler's team is very, very good as well. He stole Growlithe from me, which I was really, really upset about, but it is what it is. Arch and Carvana Fungus are really, really, really strong tier 1 picks. I really, really like that. I think he'll go far with those 8 mons. And he, you know, picked up Blitzel in the last round, which is a fast electric type. So, I like my team a lot. Kind of suffers from everyone else's problems, but like we only have 8 mons. Of course, everyone's team is going to be a little bit off. Cubchew is very, very good. It's half of his team from last season. He actually drafted Houndour, Magnemite, Carablast again, so his main core is the same. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses it. And it's a very, very strong team. It's a very, very strong team. And I have to play it week 1, which is pretty scary. We have Zen with Timber, Zarwatch, and Shao. He drafted Zarwa again, which I thought was really, really cool. Because he used it really, really effectively last season. He definitely knows how to use Zarwa. He didn't bring it against me in the semi-final, which I was really, really happy about. I don't think he did, because like that thing was scary. Gomez picked up Ponyta, Diglett, and Vullaby, and again, Gomez, like Steven, was out for tier 1, but he was out for the whole draft. He actually didn't make the draft at all, so he drafted all these 8 mons after the fact. And he drafted a really, really good team. You'll see his first 3 picks, Ponyta and Vullaby, and not really Diglett, but Diglett is actually, Diglett's focus sash is really important Diglett, so yeah, they're all kind of weak to Stealth Rock, which is why I think Anorith is such a great pick. And then you have mons like Pancham and Solosis, which can just destroy teams. Pancham from a bulky standpoint, and Solosis can set up a Trick Room and just destroy teams. Joey's team is very, very good as well. Drill Burst, Staryu, and Porygon. 2 Rapid Spinners in the first 2 rounds, that's... fuck, dude. He picked up Bagon, his mascot, in the same round that I picked up, or actually the next round after I picked up Aron, sorry, whoops. He has Riolu, which I know from experience is very, very good. He has Bumblebee, Voltorb, and Litleo, 3 fast offensive mons that I really like. And last we have Craft's team, very, very good as well. Froakie, Abra, and Spritzy, very, very strong tier 1 picks, definitely makes the first team. Chespin, Venipede, and Bergmite, 3 mons weak to fire. I don't have a fire type, so I can't take advantage of that. But I feel like mons, people like, who has a fire type? Zen, for example. Oh yeah, he doesn't play Zen. Steven is Darumaka. I feel like Darumaka is going to be really, really important against Kraft, who they play week 1, I believe. And then he has Piplup, which I think Piplup is fantastic. Defog and Stealth Rock, it's really, really good. So that's going to be it for the Little Cup Tourney 2. The battles will be going up next weekend, and like I said, the schedule is right here. We're going to be playing Cubchoo, then Kraft, then Yodeler, and then Gomez, and we're looking to make the playoffs. Like I said, guys, I'm hoping to go positive. Well, I don't think I said it yet, but I'm hoping to go positive. 3-1 is the goal. If I go 4-0, it doesn't make a difference. It's the same thing to me. I want to go 3-1, and I want to make the playoffs. If you don't know, guys, if you didn't catch it, the top 2 from each conference go to playoffs, which is really, really important. So, for example, like the Aqua Conference, when I'm in Agron, Kraft, Yodeler, and Gomez. Well, me, Kraft, Yodeler, and Gomez. I feel like any 2 of us could go to playoffs. Like, it literally is interchangeable. And it's the same with Magma. You know, Steven obviously has to, see how the first battle goes before we really make a prediction. But Joey, Zen, and Cubchoo in the same team. Like, it's really, really close, guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys are excited as I am, make sure to have some like down below first and subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Agron Knights. With that being said, have yourselves a wonderful day, and don't forget to tune in next week for our Week 1 Little Cup battle against Cubchoo. With that being said, have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.